Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi guys, welcome to Worth It Dudes, and welcome to WIDcast episode 2. So today's WIDcast is going to be about The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2, in celebration of the fact that I have finally managed to bloody finish the game. With me, as always, I have Derp. Say hello, Derp.
Hello, Derp.
Dickhead. And also we have a very special guest today. So we have Dave from Geek Theory, otherwise known as Being Graphic. Hi, Dave.
Hello, Derp.
Hi, Dave.
I've got two clowns in the office today. Brilliant. So,
Hi.
We thought we'd
We've got a
get...
channel named after you.
Okay. Can we start? Excellent. Okay, so we thought it only fair to get Dave on, as, to be quite honest with you, he has probably been our biggest supporter since we launched the YouTube channel. So it'd be great to have him on, and also him and Woolen Hat have been nagging me for months now to finish The Last of Us. So only 2 years after the after I bought my PlayStation, and it was the reason I bought my PlayStation was to play this game. So yeah, finally done it. We'll have a discussion about like the making of it, and then move on to The Last of Us 2, obviously one of the most exciting games coming out soon, hopefully, and kind of talk about our theories and fears on, you know, what may come in the game. Okay, so guys, finally done it.
Lies.
Yeah, I don't think you have. I think it's been so long, it just got kind of embarrassing. And
I think it's just imprinted in his brain. It's like, yeah, I've completed it. I haven't done it. I've just completed it, guys. Yeah, I've completed it.
It's just the dream. It's just the dream. Yeah, I just dreamt I finished it.
But Babb went on YouTube. I just watched cut screens.
Yeah, that's totally what he just did, isn't it? I can fucking find out by going on the PlayStation and checking out his trophies and shit.
Yeah, you do that.
I can find out.
I knew you guys would doubt me, so I actually did take a photograph and put it on Twitter for everybody to see.
Oh, that you took off the YouTube stills. Yeah. Well done.
Wait, you got me to Photoshop that.
How would me? See what I have to work with.
Yeah, you're gonna have to prove it, pal. You're gonna have to prove it. Give us. You're gonna have to give us some information. Prove it. Come on.
Okay, so
What happens to Thingamabob?
Thingamabob dies.
Oh, right, there you go. I'm out of questions.
Fair enough.
I'm all out.
Fair enough.
Okay, if you want something from the game, let me think. David is an absolute cunt.
Yes. Well, there you go. Yep.
Good thing we're not going for monetization on this channel, eh?
Yeah, I've just realized that dropping the C-bomb makes it totally official, because no one would use that serious swear bomb unless they really meant it.
No, we're serious.
So, yes. Well, we're never going to get monetized, so we figured, fuck it, let's just roll with it. Also, I'm a couple of G&Ts deep, and zero fucks are given at this point, I think.
Yeah.
So let's talk about The Last of Us, shall we? So I know Derp was trying to talk me into getting a PlayStation just to play this game for quite some time, and I did succumb, and then it took me another 2 years to finish it, and yeah, it shouldn't have.
It's the first time you actually listened to me.
Yeah, be the last as well.
Oh.
So what a game! What a game!
What a game. And right now I do feel like that kid in the middle of the court while their parents are getting divorced. And I'm like, do I stay with mommy or daddy? But like, which one is mommy or daddy?
It's where you wait to find out which one's got the most money, right?
So Derp, I'm staying around yours, or what's going on here?
Yeah.
That's basically the size of it, yeah. So let's get on with it, boys. So after finishing the game, I wanted to know more about its kind of history, where it came from. So I started rummaging for information, watching a few, documentaries, interviews with the developers, that sort of thing. And man, what a crazy road it was. Did you so I dug up some facts about it. So hopefully I'm going to blow some minds. Probably not. These are probably old hat, but let's roll with it and see what we got. So the first thing
Forward
that
to it.
I've got for you is about the original conception of the game. So do you guys know how the game was, how it came into fruition?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Pen and paper.
Ah, you're a fucking idiot.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't.
Yeah, so the game basically started life as it was going to be an Uncharted game, or part of an Uncharted game, and then they decided to separate it into their own game. In fact, in Uncharted 3, they dropped an Easter egg for The Last of Us before The Last of Us came out. It was supposed to go be the other way around. Yeah, it's like a newspaper clipping, I believe, in like a hotel or a hospital or something like that, saying about a zombie outbreak.
I don't know if you remember that in the corner.
Oh yeah, this is the corner of the pub, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's the one.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that.
anyway, that was kind of just like something I got from a documentary, which I thought was really interesting. But here's a couple of facts for you. So, when you're in the hospital right at the end, when you got to kind of save Ellie, which is being operated on and going to fucking kill her.
Right.
There is a, like when you go to the opticians and there's those like eye test sheets with the letters. So there's actually one of those, and if you read all of the letters in order, it says, "Run, you're nearly there. Don't quit."
Run, Forrest, run!
So it's like a really nice little kind of, you're at the end. This is the end of the game. It's just a nice
Oh my
little
god,
Easter egg tucked
I
away.
figured out about why it took you so long to complete this game. Instead of actually doing any of the challenges, you're just taking the character and go and read the walls. Like you're just reading documents on the floor. And it's like that's not the point of the game, Babb.
That is absolutely
I love
true.
it, mate. I love the spirit.
Get away yourself. Being a PC gamer, I spend a lot of time looking at walls when I'm in game. It's the thing. I like to check out the architecture, see the tessellation. I'm like, oh yeah, look at that.
This
It
is
looks like
actually
somebody's
true
like-
as well. This is literally true.
Yeah,
We would
I will
double
send.
team the wall as well. We'd be like,
Like, wow, look at that texture there. It looks like real cement.
look at that rock. Look at the window. Oh my god, it's got a window. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, there's a different texture on that wall. What was the developer doing? Yeah.
As a clicker
I know,
is
it's really-
munching down on Ellie's neck. You're going, that wallpaper is just a slightly too shade blue, and Ellie's screaming her guts out. I was like, I'll be with you in a minute, Ellie. I'll be with you in a minute.
It's true.
Yeah, she can take
It is
care of
true.
herself. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. So another fact, there is a recreation of Clementine from Telltale's Walking Dead.
Oh, wow.
The treehouse and the house that she starts off in, that's actually recreated in there. Which is like, it's really small, but like it's obviously like a little homage, which I thought was really, really nice. I was half expected to find like a zombie girl in the fucking treehouse or something, but alas, they did not go that far. This is one of my favourites. I can't believe they did this. So there are a number of newspapers strewn on the floor at the Hotel Grand in Pittsburgh.
Of course.
And if you read the newspaper, it says, Uncharted 13, a lush movie. Justin Bieber stars as Drake.
Oh, no. Why?
I know.
Why?
Let's green light this shit. Let's get Justin Bieber in. Let's do it.
Let's not.
No. I want that on like a DLC where you are trying to save Justin Bieber from a clicker. But any way you try it, nature takes its course and he just dies anyway. That's the expansion pack I will buy. I swear to God. Oh, Justin Bieber's dead. Oh, God, I'm going to buy this fucking game.
Absolutely. I would pay to see it. I'd pay good money for that. Oh no, he died. He got eaten.
Oh, no.
Poor Biebs.
Oh. I was making a sliding joke, hoping he was going to move on. Someone just said Beebs. I'm gone.
That's it. We're out of here. Okay, but my next fun fact. Pretty much everyone knows. No,
Fun fact,
that's me. Pretty much everybody does know this one, but the sort of inspiration for the zombie outbreak was the cordyceps brain infection, which is a fungal parasite that infects insects.
All right.
And derp.
Yeah. So yeah, like the cordyceps fungus was actually covered on Planet Earth, the David Attenborough documentary series, and basically in that you see this ant start to kind of be a bit funky. He's not acting right.
Wow, chicka, wow, wow.
And he gets he starts climbing up this tree, and it's all being kind of orchestrated by the fungus. So it's like he's a zombie basically. It's causing him to climb up this like tree, and he kind of latches onto a branch, and then dies. But while he's dead, this like fungus comes out of his head, and eventually produces spores, which it rains down on the ants' colony, infecting them all. And the job of this fungus is actually is population control. So when a population of insects gets too large, they become at much higher risk of being attacked by this fungus. It's just fucking insane because it doesn't just affect ants as well. There are over 400 species of cordyceps, and each one will only attack a specific species. So like, whether it be ants, wasps, roaches, whatever. It's all insects though, and predominantly in the Amazon rainforest.
That's nuts.
But yeah,
Just like that film with Mark Wahlberg, what was it? The Knowing?
No,
Or
The Happening.
The Happening.
Dirk, why did you? I was enjoying this conversation, and then you mentioned The Happening. In the film, ironically, where nothing happens, it's just annoying as shit.
Yep. So
Anyway, sorry,
a bit of a rant there, Get you in for a session there, mate. Dave rants.
You're a fan of the film then, are we?
They run away from wind. How is that anything? Fucking Marky Mark.
So brilliant. Yeah, so basically Neil Druckmann actually watched this documentary and was quite taken with it, and the fact that Attenborough refers to it as zombie ant, and he's like, well, that sounds interesting. What if it was to happen to humans? Which is pretty mad because this fungus it's about population control. When there's too many of them, they basically become really, really susceptible to this to the spores, or the higher chance that they're going to get wiped out by it. Now, obviously, at the moment, it doesn't affect humans. But it's a fucking good thing because I decided to Google cordyceps, and the first thing that comes up is cordyceps protein powder. Human beings are drinking this zombie-making fungus. This is real. You can Google this shit, guys. This is legit.
Oh, Babb.
It's like this could turn you into a zombie, but will it make me buff?
Babb. Oh my god. Again, I just go back to you are the guy who will stare at the wallpaper in-game and not complete the mission.
I like to go deep, man. I like to go deep.
You deep dive on so much. And I thought it was a weakness, but it is a total strength. I applaud that level of detail.
I just thought it was amazing. It's just like, it's like this thing that's inspired this movie about humans all becoming like zombie fucking fungus creatures.
Yeah.
And we're just drinking it. We're just like, go fucking...
tasty.
Gym bros! Do you know what I mean? Drink my fucking mind control fungus.
Wait
Crazy.
a minute, hold on. So, cordyceps affect humans. Humans who want to get buff drink protein.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't affect humans. It can't. Well,
Oh, it doesn't.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yes.
But the protein heads who go to the gym, for example, the buff ones, those are the ones we have to watch out for. They will eventually be the initial ones who die.
Yeah, the first ones to turn will be the biggest, fastest, and strongest guys. That's right. Yeah, we're fucked.
Right. Okay. Right. We're fucked.
But
then
us geeks and nerds will just be staring at walls, getting ready to waiting to be eaten.
Exactly.
No, but we inherit the earth, so better to be a nerd than some guy in.
They got it wrong in the Bible. It wasn't the meek will inherit the earth. It was the geeks.
Ah!
No.
The crowd goes wild.
Put that in your proverbial pipe and smoke it, you gym heads. Yeah.
That's an Alan Balfe original. You can keep that.
Oh, love it.
Okay.
Print.
Quickly back up with. I've got a couple more facts. In fact, it's only one. Only one more fact. Was that Tess was originally supposed to be the main antagonist.
Oh.
Yeah. So
How did that work?
So originally, Marlene was supposed to be the helpful sidekick who gets killed, and it was supposed to be Tess was the one who wanted to get Ellie to the Fireflies. And the idea was that Ellie's first kill would be to kill Tess to save Joel, because she's about to lay the killing blow on Joel. And they decided that Tess was a lot more likable than Marlene, so they went with the fact it would have more of a strong impact if they were to have her be the one that dies.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I must admit, because her character within the game and how poignant it was for her to die and Joel take the responsibility of Ellie, and how fluid that felt. That was so very narratively, so very seamless. So, wow, good to know.
Yeah, really well done. Yeah. No, really, really well done. And I think Ellie initially was supposed to be a lot softer. So she wasn't supposed to kind of... Because, she toughens up really quickly, doesn't she? She's like... by mid-game, she's fucking nails. Once she starts, like, handling a gun and, killing fools. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
Wow. Okay.
There was another fact, and I'm afraid the actress escapes. No, I do. I remember. So, did you know that the original design for Ellie looked a lot like Ellen Page?
Yes, I knew this. Yeah.
Did Ellen Page try to sue them? I'm not sure if she did, but she definitely
did.
was.
She tried to sue him. Yeah, she tried to sue him. And you could see why, because when the first actual poster came on, the first like PR material, it looked exactly and like, Ellen Page is going to be in a zombie game, movie, what is this? And then she, as a Hollywood star, tried to sue for likeness. A girl with freckles and brown hair, obviously, that's really distinctive. And Naughty Dog then, I think, changed their PR, and then it came out again where, it was they slightly tweaked it enough to give her a bit of a more mousy kind of impish look.
Yeah. See, okay, so the thing that
Too bad Lindsay Lohan can't get a file suit for GTA.
Lindsay Lohan. After all the surgery and stuff she's had, her face kind of looks like a pelvis. So What?
Oh no! Leave that in. Her face looks like a pelvis. I was gonna go for like someone hit her in the face with a shovel, but pelvis is so much better.
I was gonna go with a dropped watermelon, but fucking hell.
Yeah.
We were all thinking it, Lindsay Lohan.
There is a reason I'm the creative writer for Work It Dudes. So yeah, back on the Ellen Page thing though. That was actually the first thing I thought when I saw the E3 trailer for Last of Us 2, because obviously Ellie's a little bit more grown up now, and I was like, she looks like Ellen Page, and then I obviously came across that because I didn't think that with the younger Ellie, but yeah, and then obviously they made it quite butch as well and gay.
Yeah.
So we can have a little conversation about that in a bit. I saw some angry people about that. It's like, well,
why?
is that a big deal? I don't know. I don't pretend to understand the mindset of people who get upset about these sort of things. It's because there's the thing at the moment is within the gaming industry is that the right and alt-right feel that the gaming industry is pandering to social justice warriors and trying to make everything about either women empowerment, transgender empowerment, or LGBTQ empowerment, which there are some games that do. I would agree, but just because you have somebody who's not straight in your game doesn't make it fucking SJW fucking propaganda. Do you know what I mean?
Shit's about to go.
And it kind of made sense to me as well. I thought Ellie was quite butch in the first game anyway, and not saying that butch girls are all going to be gay, but I wasn't all that surprised by it. And it certainly doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't. And again, it's not like they're making it a plot device. It's just simply who she is. And again, I think that's what some people are. As soon as they get wind or sniff of it, they're like, well, why have you done that? You've done it for social political reasons. And it's not that. It's who she is as a character, and it doesn't motivate her to make certain decisions. It's just who she is as a person.
Yeah.
And to me, that's just layering a character in not so much in their behavior, but just in personality. And it's maybe something to understand, or it's just something to throw away. But again, I'm glad as Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann did, again, it's just who she is rather than what the story is about. And to me, that's where I put that's where I closed the book on it, really.
Yeah. No, I mean, the rest of the E3 trailer I thought was really well done. I will say that it doesn't look real. It looks. It does. I'm not convinced that was actually gameplay. There are elements where it just does look like The Last of Us does. Do you know what I mean? So you can see the gameplay mechanic working in there. But the thing where she's like dodging attacks perfectly and countering them, I kind of felt like that was a bit too orchestrated. So I know that there was a tweet from another developer, I can't remember who it was, who basically, somebody left a comment saying, "Oh, Last of Us looks amazing," and then he put and fake, and he.
Oh yeah.
Who was that? I can't remember who it was. It was.
I don't know, but he was. I think he's French, and he then deleted it and then apologized for said comments. Who the hell was it?
Oh God, I don't know. I can't remember. I will work.
Yeah, we'll post the tweet.
Okay, well,
but yeah, like that was pretty funny. But yeah, I'm not convinced that's 100%. I mean, E3 is all lies anyway. Everything at E3 is a lie.
Lies. It's all lies.
Bring out your lies. Bring out your lies. Yeah, it is. It's all lies. It's a press conference. It's not for the public, really. It's just to generate hype. I mean, just about every game.
Just like Randy Pitchford and Alien Clone.
Don't you start. Don't you start.
Yeah. I'm not started. I'm not started.
But all I liked about the E3 in that particular trailer, though, is they've refined some of the kind of mechanics of it, and obviously the visuals. The music is still, very much the same, very poignant, very kind of deep. But if you can hide under cars and then shoot somebody in the face, they have my money right now. And that's all I wanted to do.
That was something that I came across in the first one. I was like, why can't I just hide under a car or whatever? Do you know what I mean? And it's nice that they've kind of caught onto that and added it. Also, the mobility seems to be a little bit better. Again, I'm not sure whether it's because that was like a pre-rendered gameplay demo.
Well, what you got to remember as well, that Last of Us was first made for a PlayStation 3.
Yes.
And it was ported onto a PlayStation 4.
Yeah. So it's like the remaster, essentially.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So the next game is just made for the PlayStation 4's power. So when you look at what God of War poured out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said in the God of War review, like it kind of it holds merit for console exclusives when you get a game that runs that well. Because again, Dev and myself come from PC gaming background, and the problem with PC gaming is that when you play with, especially if you go top end. You have a top-end graphics card, really nice rig. Everything runs smooth as butter. And when you're playing a console and it's running at 30 frames per second, you don't see it. But then when you go and you're used to playing at 60 frames per second plus, and then you go back to a console, it's borderline unplayable. It feels like a badly optimized game. And that was the kind of issue that's what took me away from console gaming. Was because I just felt like I was playing a badly optimized game.
You're just a goddamn snob, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, there is. There is.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I come from the commoners playing field where I know nothing about PC playing, but console. And I'm like, well, you've just been spoiled, bitches. That's the truth. The truth of it is.
No, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same. I get so pissed off when I see frame rate problems on a console game.
Yeah.
I lose my shit.
Yeah, so
I really do.
Yeah, no, it's a real problem.
I did the same. Yeah, it happened. It happened with Final Fantasy. I couldn't fucking play it on the PlayStation because it just had so many frame rate problems. I was like, fuck this, I'm had enough. A game specifically designed for a console with that hardware. Why am I getting frame rate problems? So I was like, fuck it. I'll wait 6 months, and then it came out on the PC, and then I played it on the PC.
Yeah. So what sold the PS4 to me was the fact that I could finally play The Last of Us remastered, and it ran at 60 frames a second. So that was a real plus for me. I was like, right, okay, I can enjoy this game now. Do you know what I mean? And also, I was saying about console exclusives. Like there was just this long list of console exclusive games that I'd missed out on. So kudos to Sony. They sold me a console. Microsoft needs to try harder. They do. I'm not even being a dick about it. Like they have no reason for me to buy an Xbox. If you own a PC, you don't need an Xbox because you can get all their games on the Microsoft Store. They have nothing. Like if Sony did that, if Sony just went, oh yeah, here, have Last of Us to PC players, no PC player ever would buy a PlayStation ever. Do you know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Bob, you know you have a good podcast when you just called out Lindsay Lohan and Microsoft in the same way.
Fucking got my fighting gloves on.
Come at me, bro. Come at me, bro. What do you got, bro?
Coming for y'all. That is true. I say it because I care. Okay? I want Lindsay Lohan not to look like a pelvis, and I want Microsoft to do better.
I love it.
But yeah, so definitely Last of Us being a console exclusive, you know, it's a console seller. Even the fact it was a remaster, it's an old game that they brought out, and it was, you know, people were buying PlayStations to buy this game. So they did really, really, really well. And Last of Us 2, I don't know. I really hope it does come out on the PS4, but part of me thinks they're going to launch it on the PS5.
No, it'll be PS4. It will be.
Well, they haven't given us a release date, have they?
It'll be next year. It will be next year. I reckon it'll be October next year.
Balf, you're not really selling the PS4 I just bought off you very well right now.
Yeah, man, you just sold him a PS4 and he's like, yeah, it's not going to come out for your console now, that's it.
That's the only reason why I got the PS4. Oh, maybe I'll wait 2 years before I play the second part. Oh, thanks, Balf. I feel jumped on like Lindsay Lohan at a prom. I really do.
Wow. So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough procrastinating. Let's talk about Last of Us 2. So, yeah, obviously the trailer was really, really cool. And the kind of snippets we got before as well, like the little cutscenes, they were really good. I was really happy with like the way the gameplay looked. It looked familiar enough. But the one thing that I was most happy with is that Ellie seems to be the protagonist. Now, I did find in the first game that I had the most fun when I was playing as Ellie.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because she is obviously so very young in it. And I agree with you, and I have to disagree with you about this, because she was so young and so innocent, and she was basically on her own while taking care of Joel, and it was true survivalist. It wasn't a man who knew what he was doing for the last 20 years in this post-apocalyptic zombie world, and there was a true desperation, and especially when she met the characters like David, and had to get the group of cannibals away from Joel. Again, it was desperation and like, oh, we're going to do this. It's just a girl. But now, and I enjoyed that, but like now it's part 2 and she's a little bit more veteran. I feel like the stakes are slightly lower unless the enemy is greater. I don't know about you.
Yeah. So for me, I found that I just preferred the way she moved. So it wasn't the intensity of the story or the fact I was playing as a child fighting adults. It was more that I felt she was more accurate with the guns,
as children are.
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, she had a bow and arrow, didn't she? That was it.
Yeah, she was good with the bow. But even when she had the rifle and stuff, like she seemed to be a better shot. Which made no sense.
Joel's old, isn't it? You know, he was fucking shaking. And
she could kill the clickers in one fucking hit with her knife. I was like, yeah, okay. So I really enjoyed playing as Ellie. And her character as well, like the fact that she's easily underestimated. And
did you play the expansion?
So I have started the expansion, which is it was a comic book, wasn't it, originally? That was based on a prequel comic book.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, so about the Ellie's friends that basically all turned and she stayed, essentially. Because she talks about it at the end of the game, doesn't she? No, I started it, but I've got such a fucking long list of games, and there's so many that I've got to get through, and I've given the time I needed to get Last of Us done. We've got at least a year before the next one comes out, so I figure when I get that itch and I want to play a bit of Last of Us, I can go back and do the expansion. I didn't think it was overly important.
I heard different about the release date for The Last of Us Part 2.
What?
I've heard different. The composer for the music from the first one, what is his name? Valenza?
Okay.
Valis? Let Slip on a radio station in his native land, and excuse me, I think I forget where he comes from. It's Spain or Portuguese, and I apologize for not knowing exactly his source of origin. But he let slip that it's going to be March 2019.
That soon? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's very, very soon. He said it's going to be the early part. If it's not March, it's going to be very early spring of 2019. The only reason why it hasn't been broadcasted, because he was speaking in his native tongue and it was in English, so it wasn't easily transferred into reports and things like that. God bless the English language, but it didn't get that much coverage, and it was a slight slip, and it was an underrated report. And he said it was going to happen early part of next year, spring 2019.
Dun, dun,
Right, that's really interesting. So yeah, it could be coming sooner. I don't know. I reckon it'll get delayed. I do. I was fishing around for some info on it, and there's not a lot about, to be honest. But I got like 6 bullet points of things that we know for sure. So obviously Ellie is the protagonist. We know that. We know that it takes 5 years after the original. We know that most of the original cast who, basically didn't get killed, are returning. I don't really know why this one was on the list of things I came across. It was like, fresh faces will be turning up. It's like, well, yeah, I fucking hope so. Whereas The Last of Us was a story of hope, this is supposed to be a story about hate. This is what got me thinking on my theory that I'll talk to you about in a minute. A bonus fact, there will be pigs.
Sorry?
Pigs? Well,
yeah. So I don't know whether that means that there's just gonna be pigs and like people are gonna be cooking them, or whether the virus is affecting animals.
Awesome!
Because I don't know if you knew this, but one of the first sort of cutscenes they did to the green room pitching, what they do to kind of get investors interested. Was a scene of Joel running from a clicker elephant.
the fudge!
Yeah, and there was supposed to be like lions and wolves and stuff that were fucking like clickers, but they decided to make it humans only because of limitations of like console and how different it would have made the game mechanics and stuff. So I don't know if the pigs is a reference to the fact that they're going to use animals. That would be cool. It would definitely switch things up a bit.
Bacon.
Mind control fungus bacon.
Derp, are you
mind control bacon?
Derp, are you one of those people that will open your fridge and you will look in and there's been bacon there for at least 2 months and you're like, there's just only a little bit of fungus, but
the one thing wrong with that is
It's
that's
flavour, mate. It's flavour. It's mature.
the thing wrong
flavour.
with that is that if Deb has bacon, it would never last 2 months.
I know, infected or not, he'd still deep fry that shit and he's in it. It's like, right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd find a dead pig in a field and just start breaking bits off, mate. It's
Mate, you're ready for this world then, Derp. I think
Too right. It's like it's made just for me.
Yeah. The end of the world comes and Derp's like, great, now I get to eat infected pig.
Pepper fucking
Fantastic.
pig, here I come, mate. I'm gonna put you on the barbecue, boy.
guys,
I know, but seriously though, I find that really an interesting dynamic, and the film Aliens, where they kind of switched it up a little bit by the alien infecting a cow or dog, whichever
dog,
kind of cut. Yeah, it was a dog, but I think the director's cut was a cow.
Oh, in Alien 3, Alien.
Yeah,
So I mean,
Alien
they did do a line of toys and stuff where it was like a rhino alien, fucking dinosaur aliens, and all that sort of stuff, because it was the idea that the xenomorph would adopt the genetic traits of whatever it was ingested into.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it was a dog or a cat, then it would be on all fours and whatever, and take on the similarities of it. So yeah, that's a really really cool thing because it's very similar. So we could potentially have I'm not gonna lie, when the scene in the first one where you come across the giraffes. I so expected one of them to have fucking mushrooms all over its fucking head. Just come at you
Isn't that so cute?
Oh my god! I just watched that scene last night, going, "That is truly such a cinematic, touching thing."
Yeah.
And then
It's like the most relaxing, most uplifting scene in the entire game.
And then the mouth
There comes
peels back,
Balf.
and there's a little mushroom that comes out and tries to attack Ellie. Like,
It's like that zombie teddy. Have you seen that? It's like, hi, I'm a teddy. And then all of a sudden its face comes off. It's fucking
Yeah,
like
it's
zombie
amazing.
shit in there. There you go. That's Balf. He's just like, I'm going to rip this shit apart.
Yeah.
You see the true nature of a really colourful scene.
Yeah, starts eating Ellie's face. She turns back for support, and Joel's in the corner staring at the wallpaper.
So hey, look, there's another
Oh,
Easter egg,
shit.
guys.
The game just
No
ends
way!
there.
Did
They
you know
never-
Nolan North came on set? Yeah. Yeah. So.
Oh hell!
So let's get back on track. So
Oh.
should we go with some theories for things in number 2? So
Theory Balf mode activate.
yeah, I've got
Awesome.
I've got a theory on one of the biggest things, because one of the biggest complaints from people was that there was no Joel in any
Love
of
it.
the
In the
footage.
very first trailer. The very, very first
So like, well, a lot of
trailer.
people were like, "Oh, Joel's dead," or "Joel's going to die right at the beginning," or whatever. Why isn't Joel in it? And there's a lot of people kind of quite distressed by it, because I think they thought they were going to be playing Joel again.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got my theory, but what do you guys think? What's Joel doing? Is he alive? Is he dead? Is he?
Oh, he's alive, definitely. I mean, he was in the very first trailer that was released, the first teaser trailer. And stuff. I don't like I said, obviously I don't reckon you can be playing as him as much, but he could be doing other things maybe. I reckon they'll kill him off probably. But
I think the other way. I think he's dead. I watched again. I've been watching the trailer, obviously before the podcast, several times, and the music and the script is quite poignant when Ellie starts singing Into the Valley.
Yeah.
And when she finishes, can't walk on the path to the right because I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Joel enters it, and Joel walks in and he says, what are you doing, kiddo? Are you sure you're going to go through with this? And I think basically Joel is going to be this part of Ellie's psyche where she feels guilt. And that one line, are you going to go through with this, kiddo, is going to be just the last thing he says to Ellie before she kills him. And it's this ghost of guilt that haunts him in the form
Yeah,
of
man,
Joel.
that's bloody good.
And I think
That's good theory. Like, hey, yeah.
I like
See,
that, yeah.
I mean, my theory, it's not quite as poignant as that, but I think the lack of Joel being in the trailers is because Ellie has found out that Joel lied to her. And so where this is about hate, this thing that, you know, the first one was about hope, this one's going to be about, you know, hate. I think Ellie is just not talking to Joel. I think that they've completely gone their own separate ways. She wants nothing to do with him.
Because he's 6 feet under and she's 6
Well,
feet
no, I think
above.
it's more the fact that she felt she was the saviour. The whole point of the first game was she was going to be humanity's saviour. And then once Joel found out that she would die for humanity, he couldn't handle the idea, because it was like Sarah all over again, and it was a very selfish thing for him to do, because he was not willing to let another little girl who he would become close to die. And so in his head, he kind of wasn't saving Ellie; he was saving Sarah.
Yeah. But
So I think.
sorry, yeah, I just and I don't know if you felt this, Dirk, because we're the ones who played it multiple times. But I played it, and it's been broadcasted this, but I shared the same feeling. Is that at the end of the first playthrough, you realize that Joel is the villain in the first game.
Yeah.
And you're as selfish as his reasons are, his love is actually turned him into the villain. And then I played it back the 2 more times, and playing it back, the 2 times, you realize that his motives are of the man who has crossed all lines, and as Troy Baker said when he was getting prepped for the character, Joel is a character who is there are very few lines left to cross, and I felt by the end of it, he has crossed all the lines. He's accepted who he is, and he is being selfish in his actions. And you realize, shit, I just played the villain. And I guess, and I guess in the second one, she figures that out. And why my decision anyway is that he's already dead, and Ellie's taking care of that part of the story.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of like a Joker-esque what they did in the last Batman game.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
good
yeah.
callback. Yeah. Good
Yeah,
callback.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, definitely I got the kind of the villain element from it because as the game goes on, he starts off as a smuggler, just a smuggler, a smuggler who's good at his job. That's why he's given the task. But how savage he is towards the end by when he's like torturing guys to get information, and he's literally just no fucks given. He does not. If he says tell me something or I'll kill you, even if you tell him he's going to kill you, do you know what I mean? He leaves no trail. And right down to like the death of Marlene, which was absolutely savage. He's like got a gun under a child while he murders somebody. I was like, wow, Joe, jeez. Yeah, so it became apparent to me that it wasn't anything to do with Ellie, because he kind of like in Joel's head, I think it was all Sarah.
Well, he does say like call Sarah's name while he's trying to rescue her.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah. So it's definitely completely selfish. Do you know what I mean? It's not about Ellie. It's Sarah. Do you know what I mean? In his head, it's like he's completely saving his daughter, not Ellie.
So wait a minute, hold on. Derp thinks he's alive. I think he's dead.
No, I think he's alive.
What do you think, then? I mean,
yeah, I think.
You think he's alive? Fucking
so
explain.
I basically I think that Ellie finds out that Joel has lied to her. They fall out massively. Then basically he goes off, probably become a hermit or something, live by himself in the woods. He's going to show up at some point in the game, but there's going to be an element of her not wanting his help but needing it. And I think he'll probably die by the end of the game, by which time she will have forgiven him, but it'll be too late. Nice bit of tragedy in that. I do think he will show up. He's far too useful a guy for him not to be some kind of pivotal role in the thing. Although I did recently watch the E3, like as in an hour ago, watched the E3 trailer again, and something that bothers me and does poke a massive hole in my theory. And
it's not 60 frames per second.
No, shut up. If you're gonna make gags, they gotta be funny. All right.
that was serious.
That was pretty shit.
So do I live with my mom or my dad? I don't.
And we're back.
No.
Yeah. The thing in the E3 trailer that actually really kind of pokes a hole in all our theories is that there's an Asian bloke that comes and stands next to Ellie while he's watching her girlfriend dancing with another guy, and he says, "Oh, your old man had a go at me today," which would insinuate that Joel is actually in the city with Ellie, and they're just probably not getting on so well. However, your old man doesn't necessarily mean Joel. It could be anybody who's like taking care of her. It depends on how long her and Joel have fallen out. If she found out within the next 6 months, then that's 5 years where she wouldn't have had anybody looking out for her.
Well, layering on that, Joel's brother.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Couldn't he be the figure? Father figure?
Absolutely.
Maybe.
So I mean, that was kind of what I was thinking, but. I think Joel has probably gone into hermitage somewhere. He's just, living in a tree.
Just chilling out in the pub.
He's just out in the wild.
The drink is strong with this one.
I would have preferred you to say, like, Mark Hamill just milking a sea cow for green milk.
Oh, don't you go there.
Let's not do the Star Wars.
All right, stay focused.
Stay focused. Star Wars.
Fucking grinding his teeth
Not a
while he's
good
saying
subject to talk about. Okay.
And in the distance, you hear
Happy
Babb
thoughts,
ripping
happy
up his
thoughts.
notes.
Yeah.
thoughts.
Well, I hear Ryan Johnson's
Go
getting
on.
the James Gunn treatment at the moment, so yeah.
Yeah. We'll go into that later if you want to.
Yeah. Get me fired up.
Another podcast.
That's our podcast in itself. Isn't it? So yeah.
Fuck
So
yeah.
fears for the game. What do you think could go wrong?
Ooh.
Derp, I'll let you go first, mate.
Oh God. Gets delayed. What were you talking about in story times or just?
Yeah. Like what? Do you have any fears for the game? Or are you just like, this is going to be the best game ever, part 2?
The second comment, I reckon it's just literally just going to blow us away again. Every time Naughty Dog has done something, especially since they've done the Uncharted games, and it's always been special.
Okay.
I literally haven't. I'm just expecting to be blown away again.
I do as well because Neil Druckmann and Naughty Dog know exactly where this is going to go. They sat down and they very much again care about story and how things naturally progress from a human aspect and from a story aspect. My only problem or fear, I would say, with this, guys, is that they can get overconfident with the blown away success of the first game.
Absolutely.
And through that confidence, it becomes overstuffed. Either through storytelling or the messages they're putting behind the narrative. Like, for example, and I hate to bring this up again, but like overstuffed with like social, political agenda, like Star Wars with The Last Jedi did. They need to focus on the kind of the moral, physical challenges and overcome it, regardless of creed or gender or any kind of social shite. And again, this overconfidence and overstuffing, they need to remain focused that this is escapism, and they should stick to that rather than feel like you're sucking off the Daily Mail dick of this is the world that it should be, in which it isn't. And again, people sit down and pay good, hard-earned money to escape, to expand the world, rather than shrink it down into the triviest fucking things that are happening in the world today. That's my only fear.
Yeah. I was actually going to touch on that myself. So although people start shouting out SJW propaganda every time a fucking game comes out that's got a woman in it, there is an element that there's a real danger of being too currently political. So the game needs to have its own politics, I think, and as long as they do it organically, it will be fine.
Yeah.
You don't need, as long as it's not shoehorned in there. For the sake of look at our diverse game, because no one wants that. You know what I mean? No one wants that. You just, it needs to be done organically. It needs to be natural. It looks like it has been. So as long as that goes to plan, I think the biggest fear is that they set the bar way high with their first game, way high, and so the expectation is so high it's almost impossible to match, and I will be surprised if it's touted as a better game than the first.
They did it with Uncharted 2, 3 and 4. This is why I reckon adults
They didn't though,
Good
because
point.
Uncharted 2 was piped as it's the fan favourite. So they peaked at 2 and then they've not been able to recreate that since. So the games are good, but if you peak early, it's hard to get back there, do you know what I mean?
I think on that side it's only because 2 was so different from the first game, and 3 and 4 followed the same tracks as the
But
second
that's
game.
exactly the point I'm making. It's like that's because they peaked there. They had nowhere else to go to build upon that to make it that much better. Do you know what I mean?
Well, no, I agree with that statement, but again, like if 2 is par, and say, it feels like the same experience. At least it is a common thread or very much knitted into the universe they're doing, because then you look at it not just individual gaming, and when the third one comes out and it blows it away, but then it's a it's the overall story and the overall trilogy that you're looking at, rather than just each an individual game. And you can forgive the shortcomings of a sequel. Of course you can, because you're never going to top what they did. But as long as it naturally continues the story and the gameplay and the visuals and groundbreaking whatever that they're going to do, and the third one then tops it again just like the first one, because they did something completely new, because there was that transition piece. You're looking at an overall amazing story, and fans will be talking about it.
I think the most important thing is to make sure that they handle their IP with the love that they have done previously, and as long as they do that, I don't think they can really fail, because it's such a big thing. Even if it's not as good a game, it will still be a continuation of a story of the lives of invisible characters that don't really, fictional characters that don't exist, that we all love. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to know what's happened in that little world. Do you know what I mean? It's just that my piece of escapism. As long as they don't fuck around with that too much, I think it'll be fine. They've got exactly
with my world, Naughty Dog. Don't fuck with it.
They've got exactly
it's
the same
good.
problem
I like it.
with this.
Stop touching it.
CD Projekt do with the Cyberpunk game they're working on. So, you know, where again, developers come along and they've made like this amazing game, and then they have to follow it up, and it's like, fuck, oh well, you know. So like, I mean, you saw this Cyberpunk trailer, right?
Actually, I listened to your last podcast and then I watched it. I didn't watch Cyberpunk. I saw the brand thing and I'm like, oh, that looks, I don't know, that looks retro gaming. I didn't understand it. It looked like GTA on Smack. I'll skip it. And and then I listened to your podcast last time, and I'm like, oh, okay, worth it, dudes. Recommend it. And then I watched it. I went, holy shit! I still don't understand what's going on, but holy shit!
Yeah. So what once you get yourself round to playing Witcher and finishing it,
God, yeah,
you will have a much better understanding of what you're likely to be.
I feel like that was an underlining burn there, Val. Like,
was a little bit. Yeah. Do you know how you've been moaning at me to finish this game? I sold you a fucking PlayStation so you can play this game, okay?
Well, as long as the PS4 that you sold me in good faith can hold the game, then fine. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, it'll be inferior to PC, obviously, but you know,
okay.
We've got to take what we can get.
Very cool. Very cool.
Right, I think we should wrap up there, guys. Unless you have anything extra you want to add.
No, I don't know, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't know who the fucking villain is, because I'm a little bit confused between the trailers that have come out. Is it the Fireflies that Ellie's going after, or is it a religious thing? Is Ellie's mom still alive? Is she a part of it? I don't understand any of that, to be perfectly honest.
I guess we just have to wait and find out. It's a mystery.
Fair enough.
Yeah. It'll probably just be a rebel group of some description. A rival town or city.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
Coke and Pepsi.
What if the villain is Ellie's mum?
I would love that. She takes off the mask and he's like, I am your mother. And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Right, okay, so we'll wrap up there.
Awesome.
So, thank you guys for listening to our ramblings. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Big thank you to Dave for joining us. Always a pleasure to chat with Dave. And
my pleasure, guys.
Join us for another podcast potentially next month, hopefully. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.